Title: The Mortgage. They slid the mortgage papers across the kitchen table like it was normal, like betrayal should be signed in ink and swallowed with coffee. "You've saved enough," Mom said softly, eyes darting. "It's time you help family," Dad added, like it was noble, like I was the selfish one. I looked at the name on the deed. My sister's, and that's when the silence inside me cracked. Growing up, I believed loyalty came with blood, that love was fairness, that family meant balance. They fed me that myth every day I watched them favor her. Every piano lesson she didn't practice. Every bad grade that earned her a hug, while my A- got a lecture. But I worked, late shifts, freelance. I said no to vacations, clothes, even air conditioners. They said I was disciplined. Now I know the word they meant was useful. 3 months before the papers hit the table, I noticed Mom was vague about her bank statements. Dad mentioned renovations, but never said for whom. Then my sister posted a photo, a brand new house, marble counters, a wraparound porch. Her caption? "When hard work pays off." Hard work? She's never held a job longer than 6 weeks. I stared at the post until my hands shook. But I didn't confront them. Not yet. The next week, they invited me for dinner. I thought it was guilt. It was preparation. They served my favorite, lamb roast, mint sauce, even the expensive wine. That's when Dad pulled out the folder. Mom smiled, almost apologetically. "We already co-signed for her, but now the monthly payments—" "She can't afford it," Dad finished. "But you can." I didn't say a word. I just looked at them like strangers, because that's what they'd become. I said no. Not with anger, with finality. And that should have been the end. But they sued me. The letter came a week later, civil court, claiming implied contract, familial obligation, and a handful of other phrases that meant, "You owe us for loving you." $350,000. The cost of her house and, apparently, my childhood. My lawyer laughed when he saw the paperwork. Then he stopped laughing, because they'd built a case. Emails where I said, "Let me know if you need help." Texts where I said, "Whatever I have is yours." Photos of birthday gifts. A used car I gave them years ago. They called it a pattern of intent. I called it love. They called it evidence. Court day came. My parents showed up dressed like widows. My sister sat in the back row wearing designer sunglasses like she was shielding herself from the truth. I didn't look at any of them, just the judge. An older woman, sharp eyes, no patience. She read the file, sighed, and asked one question. Did he ever agree, in writing or otherwise, to pay for the house? The courtroom held its breath. My father opened his mouth, but I spoke first. "No, Your Honor. I didn't even know they bought her a house until after they did." The judge nodded once, then turned to my parents. "In that case, this is over. Case dismissed. No fanfare, no long speech, just a legal gavel and a lifetime of silence." But I wasn't done. You see, while they were building a lawsuit, I was building a firewall. I froze the joint savings account. I withdrew every dollar I had ever deposited into their assets. The car they still used? It was in my name. I had it towed within the hour. I reported the gift money I gave them as loans on my taxes, retroactively. Let the IRS ask them why those gifts weren't declared. I reached out to every family friend they knew, told them calmly what happened. Screenshots, dates, court documents. Not to shame them, to reveal them. And then I disappeared. Changed my number, moved cities, left no forwarding address. The last text I ever sent read, "You didn't lose a wallet, you lost a son." That was 2 years ago. I haven't heard from them since. But every so often I get an anonymous email, a GoFundMe, a whispered apology through an old friend. I never reply. Because closure isn't a conversation. It's a locked door. People ask me if I miss them. I miss the version of them I thought existed. But the truth? Sometimes justice doesn't look like revenge. Sometimes it's just walking away, with your name still intact.